One, action.
I hope after this we'll still be friends. But today I'm here to talk about 7 mistakes that young adults make. Hi everyone, welcome to Mentoring Sessions with Pastor M. You know how I love to do these things, right? Okay, so today, I hope after this we'll still be friends. But today, I'm here to talk about 7 mistakes that young adults make. Okay, so it's part of my 7 series, 7 mistakes that young adults make. So, to be honest, I'm not even sure where to start with this, but there's so much that is going on these days, and I think that at some point we really need to sit down and start to tell ourselves the truth. There's a proverb I grew up hearing, so maybe when I tell you this proverb you will know my age, but there's a proverb I grew up hearing, and I'm going to say it in pidgin because that's where it really hits hard. My eldest brother used to say a lot, plantain dey rotten, we say dey ripe. If you don't understand what that means, then you are the generation I'm actually speaking to, because this generation have no clue what sarcasm is. They have no clue about proverbs. They have no understanding of things like this. But the point is this. You know, it takes the same process to ripen and to rotten plantain. So something may be getting bad and we just say it's getting ripe. I think that this generation make a lot of mistakes that a lot of us are just taking for granted. No one's speaking about it because we have this explanation of that's how they are, that's how they are. They are smart, they are techie, they are savvy. This generation, you can't really silence them. You can't really, they will ask why, And I really don't have a problem with them asking why. But we need to start pointing out some of the mistakes they're making so that they do not grow up and transfer it to the next generation. If we can deal with it now and nip it in the bud, then we have hope for tomorrow. So let me just get straight into it. So number 1, very first mistake that young adults make is that they feel entitled. The mistake of feeling entitled. I honestly don't know where they get this from, but let me say this to you if you're a young adult. The world does not revolve around you. Yes, I said it, and I'm going to say it again. The world does not revolve around you. A lot of times we have this approach of our parents should do this for us, our parents should do that for us, and you're 30. You are 30 years old. Your parents were probably half that age when they started working. Nobody handed anything down to them. They worked hard for it. If you want anything in life, you're going to have to get it. No one owes you anything. So everyone's going around feeling like, the government should do this. It's everyone's fault but yours. You need to take a long, hard look at your life and ask yourself, why do I think that people need to give me things? No one owes you anything. Work hard like everyone else. If you get a blessing, be grateful for it. Don't just grab something and say, oh, okay, right. Your parents send you money, say, money even sent me small. They worked hard for that money. They sent it to you. It's not your right. Sometimes we forget that even though our parents gave it to us, everything they do for us is a privilege. It's not a right. There are people who have parents as well, and they've been sent to work and struggle on their own. You are given literally everything. So it gives them the false impression that if their parents give them everything, their boss too should give them everything. Life should give them everything. You need to work for anything that you get. And if you get it, then be grateful for it. So the first mistake they make is thinking everything revolves around them, thinking that it's my right. It's my right for this to be given to me or this to be done for me. The other day I was speaking to someone, and the person was upset that their dad had sold their house and moved to the village. So the person was really upset. I don't know how my father can do that. I said, no, point of correction. Your father sold his house. I don't remember you putting money when he was buying the house. He didn't even ask you. When he bought the house, he didn't ask you. So why should he ask you when he's selling the house? It is not your right. You need to start to treat life like a privilege and work hard for the things you want. The second mistake that young adults make is thinking that they have time. And this one makes me laugh. They think they have time. You're 25, you're 30, you're 35. So you think you have all the time in the world. So you're on social media, you are chilling, you're relaxing, you're clubbing, you're partying, you're buying all the best things now, you're not saving any money, you're not planning for your future. And I heard something yesterday that was very interesting to me. I heard Mama Funke Adejumo say that your future is not what you enter, your future is what you create. Your future is not what you enter, your future is what you create. So it's not something that is going to happen to you tomorrow. It's what you make happen today. That's what your future is. So you're not just going to sit around and expect that, tomorrow what will be. Anyhow it will be. No, what will be, will not be. You have to make it be for it to be. I don't know if what I said just made sense, but that's just the truth of the matter. You have to make it happen if you want it. So a lot of times, we have this approach of, I'm a social media influencer, I'm working, I'm chilling from one work. And the funny thing is that this season, this whole COVID-19 thing has taught us that some of the things we thought were important are not as important. A lot of times when you say go to work and you say, I want to club. Now that you have not clubbed in the last 6 or more weeks, are you dead? No. So it's just that you can actually live your life doing important things. This season has taught us what is really important. A lot of times, I'm trying very hard not to get upset because every time I talk about this generation, I am just overwhelmed, totally overwhelmed. This is a time to start to plan for your future. Don't eat everything you make. Save for your future. Have a plan for your future. Spend your time doing important things. The Bible says that a little sleep, a little slumber. It says that's how poverty will come on. You know that, let me just chill a little. Let me just rest. How do you rest when you haven't worked? Rest is what you do when you have worked. You don't rest from rest. You rest from work. So it is when you have put in effort, you've done something, then you are tired. You take a little rest. And rest is not death. Rest is I stop a bit so that I can continue. I stop so that I can refresh myself, re-energize myself, so I can put in more effort for the next step. Not that you are resting. I can't understand how 10 a.m. you call a young person and they tell you they are resting. How do you rest at 10 a.m.? I'm not really understanding it. I don't think I ever will. You don't rest at 10 a.m. I wake up at 4:30 every morning. And most times I'm not asleep till about 12. Because there's so much to do. I speak to some millennials, and when you call them, why are you sounding like that? They say, I'm tired. From doing what exactly? And a lot of these people I'm talking about are probably 22, 20, 21, even 19. What exactly are you tired of? Eating your parents' money? Eating your mother's food, which you probably didn't cook? Or watching too much TV? Or Netflixing and chilling? Or what exactly are you tired of? Somebody probably has to tell me this in the comment section, what you're tired of. Those words should not escape your lips if you are under 40. You are too young to be tired. Too young to be tired. I probably need to say it again. You are too young to be tired. This is the season where you work. This is the season where you learn. This is not the season where you rest. Rest is for old people or tired people. You have to have worked to rest. So don't think that you have time. You are playing now. You are doing TikTok. You are doing everything but preparing for the future. And then one day you will wake up and you are 45. You wake up one day and you are 50 and you realize that you haven't done anything with your life. You have absolutely wasted your time. The time that you have now is for learning and for growing. Listen, especially if you are single, listen to me, young people. If you are single, now is the time to invest your money. Now is the time to save. Now is the world. If not for COVID-19, this would have been the time to travel the world, experience new things, adventures, write books, pray. I don't know if you get married and you have a baby. Listen, your prayer life would totally change, especially if you're a woman. Your prayer life will change. You won't even have the time to pray as much. Or maybe it's the time you want to study. The woman is kissing your neck. You say, honey. What's honey? I want to talk to the Lord. But as a married woman, listen, you have concern. Your concerns will be for the things of this life, not of the Lord. It's when you are single that your concerns will be of the Lord. So you have all the time to pray now. You read all the chapters, read the Bible from top to bottom. Not waste your time. Now is not the time to waste your time. So that's the second mistake, thinking you have all the time in the world. A huge mistake. Number 3, the third mistake that young adults make, despising those ahead of you. Now I'm going to read a scripture to you. Proverbs 22 verse 28 talks about us not removing the ancient landmarks, and I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to read it to you in the King James Version and in the Message translation. So the King James Version says, "Remove not the ancient landmark which thy fathers have set." The Message translation says, "Don't stealthily move back the boundary lines staked out long ago by your ancestors." And the truth is, this is so important, because in this generation, a lot of us think that there's no place for the fathers anymore. I am scared, shocked, looking for a better word, but I am totally afraid for this generation. I sometimes see the way they go and tear the fathers of the faith to shreds on social media. And this is a big problem, because this social media, and I mean, we're a social media generation, but we need to understand that just because you can buy data does not make you someone's age mate. So we have people trolling, and I know you're coming for me with these videos, but somebody needs to tell you the truth. So you see some fathers that, if not for social media, even your own father will be bowing to them to greet them. Your father will prostrate to greet them. You will ask them at Papa Adeboye, at Bishop, as in no fear of any kind. I'm not even going to go as far as that, but there are some set down rules, some foundations that has been laid down. I hear people saying things these days that even contradict the Bible. So we're even the landmarks have been set by fathers like Father Abraham, like Jesus, our Lord and Master. People will question those things that Apostle Paul wrote in the Bible, Peter wrote in the Bible. You'll be questioning, who exactly are you? So the other day, I heard one that totally fascinated me. There's this new breed of men. I can't lie, they can kill me. I'm going to say my mind. I'm not afraid, I'll say it. The new message they're preaching now is that men are not the head of marriage. That men should not be seen as the head in the home, because that means that we're placing the responsibility of marriage on men. And I laugh. The funny thing is that some of the people that are saying these things are not even married, single boys. No, single little boys that do not know anything about marriage are questioning foundations, landmarks that have been set, ancient landmarks that have been set by God himself, that says that the man is the head of his home. That doesn't make the woman inferior. It just means that there must be order in every home. So you're saying, when I marry, I'm not going to be the head of my home. Me and my wife are going to make all the decisions. Yes, but there must be somebody who's held accountable. Do you think it is easy to have a government where the people do not obey? That's chaos. And so things that have been said, just because you want to sound intelligent, just because you want to sound smarter than the fathers, so everything they say now should be negated. Everything they say should, so we treat our fathers with that respect. What do they know? What did they know? After all, they don't know anything about social media. I mean, you may be techie, but you must never forget that they laid the foundation for where you are today. If not that they even fought for us to read and write. Do you think you will know anything about Instagram? Would you know anything about coding? Will you know anything about social media? Because you know something doesn't negate the fact that our fathers also knew something. So that disrespect, that constant despising people that have gone ahead of you, so you get a new job, and maybe you are replacing someone, you come there, instead of you to settle down, the first thing you must do, if you are given a new position and someone was there before you now drive everybody away and start making changes, find out why the person did what they did. Find out why the decisions that were made before you came were made. Sometimes these things that you're about to do, the person has thought it through and said, this thing no go work. Let me just do it this way. You know, I grew up also with a proverb. My grandmom used to say it a lot. That what an old man can see sitting down, a child can never sit even if they climb an iroko tree. But we have come now and we think that we know more than our parents. So you say, my parents don't get it. My parents didn't live in this generation. My parents didn't. See, teenagers, young people, we were once teenagers. Before you were teenagers, we have done that, been there, worn the t-shirt, broken the cup, the mug, and we've seen that these things that you are fighting, we fought about it then. Peer pressure, we've dealt with it. You see, one of the things I've learned if you can sit down with people that are older than you, and you learn from them, you are less likely to make the mistakes they made. But thinking you know it all is Satan setting a trap for your destruction. He says humility before honor and pride goes before a fall. So when you think you know more than our fathers, everything they have laid down, it doesn't make sense anymore. Women can marry women. Men can marry men. What does the Bible even mean? Is everything in the Bible, can it be true? Is it not men that wrote it? Men inspired by God. And the problem is if you question one, you will question all. When I was growing up, when they tell you something, the first thing you say is yes, sir. It's not why. Everything is not why. Everything will not be explained to you. And that's the real problem. Satan went to Eve. Did God really say? What he said to her was question everything. And from questioning everything, that's why we are here today. All of us wearing clothes, growing fast, everything, walking about, toiling, suffering, push pikin, wahala, get pikin, wahala, marry, wahala. But everything was given to us freely in the garden. It was that why. Why? Why? Ask why. When the angel came to Mary, he said, you are going to have a child. She said, I am the handmaid of the Lord. Be it unto me according to your word. It's not everything we question. It's not everything we question. Some things we receive it by faith. Some things we receive it that this person is older than me, they know better. I'm not saying they always do, but you must first take into consideration what they have to say. So the third thing is stop despising those who have gone ahead of you. There's still so much you can learn from them. There's still so much knowledge. There's still so much that they have done that you have no idea. Some of the things we're doing today is because of the battles that they fought. Okay? Number 4. And number 4 is an offshoot of number 3. Number 4 is young people are so disrespectful. My God. And nothing pains me like disrespect in this my life, Too many young people are so disrespectful. You can make your point without being rude. You will call somebody that if not for education, you would have given birth to them. You know, education is part of our problem. Education takes some good childbearing years away from you. So if you are starting giving birth at maybe 13 or 14, there are some people that can't be talking to you. You will tell them something, the way they will even answer you. You have a staff who is on that one, you will tell them something, they will be frowning face. You have a face to frown, really? Really? When I was growing up, when they talk to you, say, yes, sir, yes, ma. And when you even want to talk, you know, these days, even when they want to tell you something, when they even say with all due respect, I can guarantee you that the insult that is coming after it. In my time, your boss can't be talking, be shouting anyhow. As what? Who are you? Who are you? So disrespectful. And like I said before, I think it's because of this social media thing. So you know social media, it doesn't allow us to say uncle. So if you want to talk to somebody older than you on social media, you write at Mildred. It's not going to be at uncle, pastor. No, it will be at. So that thing has removed respect. It has removed the culture of respect that we have. And listen, it's not everything that we can take from the Western world. They may know some things, I guarantee, but family life, they don't know it. Our culture teaches us some things. So your parents are talking to you, as how? I remember growing up, my mom would beat the living daylights out of you. And it reconstructed my brain. Even now, if my mother is talking to me, I can't dare not answer her back. But this generation, you talk to them, they ask you everything, they talk to you anyhow, they answer you anyhow. Listen, the seeds you are sowing today are seeds you will reap tomorrow. You know, I'm so concerned because if we do not deal with these things now, I fear for the next generation. I fear for the generation that this generation will raise. I'm so scared for the generation that this generation will raise. If now, before you tell them to do anything, go and sweep that parlor, they'll say, why? Because I said so. Why? Really? When I was growing up, my mother said, because I said so. You know that the next thing after that is slap. So you don't wait to know if there's any answer after I said so. You said so, you say, yes, mommy, and you carry broom. And after sweeping, you mop. before they come and tell you to mop. But not this generation. Everything is disrespect. Everything is fight. People come on social media. You will put something on your page. On your page, not their page. They will come there and advise you. And when you say, oh, but this is my, then they will insult you. And when you go and look at their age, you will see it's a 15-year-old that is telling you that you are 55, that you don't have sense. And even if you want to make your point, can't you make it politely? So I'm not trying to negate the fact that, young people can be intelligent, but there must be respect. Even if you're making your point, be respectful. If they're telling you, if you're asking for something, be respectful. It's not your right. It's not your right. So that's the next mistake they make, being disrespectful. Never despise people that helped you get ahead. That's part of the respect. If you look at the story of Esther, Esther was raised by Mordecai. She was an orphan girl. She was raised by Mordecai. And Mordecai raised her and then helped her get to the palace. She became queen. Now, the interesting thing I noticed about Esther is that even after Esther became queen, now you must understand that by the time she became queen, it means that she became queen even over her uncle. But the Bible says that every morning her uncle would come and check on her and he would give her advice and she would listen. That was the reason why she had a habit of listening to him. That's why he knew that when they made that law that they were going to kill all Jews, that he could send a message to her and say, Esther, they're about to kill us. You go to your husband and say, and save your people. And she said, first of all, go and give my uncle clothes. Let him change. Why is he in ash clothes? She was making noise. He said, if you don't do this thing, salvation will come from somewhere else, but your house will be destroyed. She obeyed him even at the risk of dying. Because there was a law that if the king didn't send for you, went to the king, you would be killed. Even at the risk of losing her life. She said, if I perish, I perish. Let me obey my uncle. I'm going to do this thing. Because some people don't remember that it was also obedience to her uncle. It wasn't just about saving her people. She could have been in that palace and she could have been safe. Nobody would have known because she never told anybody she was a Jew. But it was the reverence and the honor she had for her uncle that she said, let me obey this man by going at the risk of my life. They say, your parents say you should go to school. You say, no, I know what I'm doing. You know what you are doing. You don't want to obey them. Simple to go and read book, you don't want to obey them. They didn't say you should go and die. What they're asking you to do is for your own good, not even for the good of the entire world. For your own good. You say you know what you're doing. I know they don't get me. They don't get me. Like they don't really get me. Like I'm way ahead. Things moving faster in my generation. If without our generation, would there be your generation? The next mistake, forgetting that knowledge is progressive. And this one makes me laugh. Because you think you know it all now. You've forgotten that there was a time where the only knowledge that was available was the knowledge that came from this generation or from the generation before you. So you think that you know it all, forgetting that there will be a generation after you who also know more than you. So don't despise the knowledge that is available to you. You know, that scripture I read before, it says, don't stealthily move back the boundary lines. And you know, that's the funny thing. There have been boundaries that have been set, but because you think you know, you are moving it back with style. So feminism has crept in. And feminism probably started out right. But now some people have hijacked it to say women can do everything a man can do. I agree. But should we? Just because you can, should you? Just because a woman can marry a woman, should we? Just because a woman can carry all the bills in the family, should we? And then we complain about men being spoiled and laid back. The men are not doing anything because the men have been neutered. You have taken all the responsibility. And if he doesn't pay the bills, I'll pay it. I don't have time for nonsense. I have time for nonsense. It is part of my responsibility to have time for his nonsense. I will sit with him till he works hard and pays that bill. I will be there till he gets it. I don't need any man to tell me I'm sorry. I don't need any man to I have time. That's all I have in this life, time. Once you have chosen to marry, you have time. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't fight to be everything you shouldn't be. I'm not saying you shouldn't fight to be paid the same thing a man is paid if you are doing the same job. But there's a place this thing ends. So we're teaching our daughters that dress like men is okay. Trousers are not only for men. And I agree. Absolutely agree. But then we now complain about them being transgender when they grow up tomorrow. We're worried that when we're pushing the daughters to be great, our sons are wondering what's happening to me. So maybe I need to wear a dress. Maybe I need to wear makeup. And we're complaining that they're transgender today. And we're saying, God forbid. We're creating monsters.
We're creating monsters without even knowing it. I have no problem with knowledge. I have no problem with us moving forward. But we must be careful not to remove what God has laid. Because I hear a lot of women complaining, my husband doesn't pay any bills. How did you start? How did you start? When you were dating, you go out. You don't want him to, no, we're equal. So the man doesn't have to pay the bills. I agree. He doesn't have to. But he should. So we go out. He invited me out. He should pay. Yes. Because when I enter marriage now, I will bring him money too. Since I got married, I don't think my husband even knows whether they buy children's clothes or they buy children anything. But there are large bills he's paying. I'm not, and if he doesn't have, I will give him. I have no issues with that. But is there anything wrong with being a woman? Is there anything wrong with being feminine? Is there anything wrong with being taken care of? Did they swear for you? Why exactly? Why exactly don't you want to be spoiled? Me, I don't, Hey, my husband wants to spoil me, by all means he should. My husband himself doesn't even have power for those things. I'm sitting down on him. You will have power. Spoil me. They did not swear for me. I'm not, I don't know the word. My mother says Jackie. I don't know whether it has English definition, but Jackie, you know Jackie, people that like work. I'm not. Yes, I'm created to help, not to take over. So there are some boundaries, there's some things that have been laid down. Don't think you know it or ask questions. Hey, this generation, God. This generation, you have to ask questions. Don't think, and I don't even know why all this self-imposed, I need to, you're not proving a point to anybody by thinking you know it all. If you don't know, ask. Somebody has done this job for years. Somebody has gone ahead of you. I know how to ask questions. So that's why my life is easy. I will call. I ask up, I ask down. I ask people that the younger people that are working with me. I ask my husband. I ask older ministers. Please, how have you done this thing? How have you managed? The other day I was dealing with mommy guilt. Because a lot of times my husband and I are together, so we're traveling a lot. I'm either writing a book, I'm counseling people. So at some point I start feeling like I rarely even see my children. And I start feeling like, am I really investing enough time in them? Or am I pointing into other people? I'm raising other people's children. I don't have time at home. You know, and I was feeling a bit guilty about it. And then I remember that we had a meeting with Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo. It was my 40th birthday. And so my husband took me to him at that, you know, and then he said, oh, he wanted to see me and pray for me. So he said, do I have any questions? I asked him anything in this world. I said, okay, so I have only one question. Now, how do you deal with you're raising your children, feeling like you're not there for them? He smiled. And then he said one thing. Hey, God. One thing that rescued me for the rest of my life. You'll be amazed. That thing you are struggling is one thing that older person you have despised will tell you that will change your life. Mentors are so important. You can't live life without young people. You need mentors. You need mentors. I don't care how much you know. You still need someone to help you put it all together. Somebody will help you put it together. It's like saying that, oh, because I pushed a child, I don't need my mother to come for Mugo. What? You have no clue. When you come out from the hospital and they hand you the baby like this, you first be confused. You don't know where to hold baby. Then bath baby, how? You don't even know how to, like, when your mother comes in, like if your mother is a mother, it's not a millennial too. If your mother comes in and she takes over, when she carries that baby, there's a way they will press the child, the child will mold. My children had figure 8 from small. My mother will mold, pull the nose, like you would know, and you would rest because she will take over sometimes. That's what having a mentor does for you. You will not struggle. So I was saying, I went to him and I asked him this question, and he said to me, quality over quantity. I said, sir? He said, quality over quantity. Every time you spend time with your children, make sure it is quality time. Play with them, ride bicycles with them, do fun things. He said, build memories. Children never remember the clothes you bought for them. Children never really remember whether you were with them all the time. They remember major milestones. So if you took them to Disney World, for instance, children will never forget that. If you taught them how to ride a bicycle, children will never forget that. If you teach your child how to bake a cake, they will never forget that. They will never forget it. They always remember the things that you spend time doing. He says, so anytime you are around, make it so impactful that they don't even remember when you are not around. It sets me free. One word of advice, set me free. Something I've been carrying for months and thinking, hey, then I'll now be tempted to, hey, maybe I should buy them more gifts when I'm coming back. No. He said quality. And you won't believe it. Small things like my husband riding bicycle with them, but those things make all the difference. Makes all the difference. Just dancing with them in the room, you'll be amazed. It makes all the difference. So don't forget that. Don't get to the point where you think that you know more than everyone else. Knowledge is progressive. A generation is coming too that will know more than you. So don't despise those that you know, that you have. Maybe you have a new idea. I mean, your generation was there was Facebook, but now things have changed. There's TikTok, there's this, there's that. Thank you. But if we do not start with Facebook, you will not be here TikToking. You will not be here with Thriller and all the other many things you will have. Okay? So knowledge, don't forget that knowledge is progressive. Now the next thing, this generation. In fact, I don't know if it's the biggest, let me not say it's the biggest, one of the very big mistakes they make is not learning. Hey, this generation does not read. Okay, I agree you're on social media. Read caption. If you cannot read book, can you not also read caption? Read caption. Something happened that totally fascinated me. So, my husband put up a webinar for singles. And then, so on Zoom, the webinar was supposed to be on Zoom and the link was already put up on his bio. So we're supposed to do the webinar on Zoom. Now Zoom, the version we paid for could only accommodate 1,000 people because anything else would have been much more expensive, and it was a free webinar. That's my husband like that. I don't even know why it's free, but it was free. So we did the webinar. Then we found out that we had about 4,000 people registered, right? About 4,000 people registered. And then, so we decided, okay, let's stream it live on YouTube. So while it was on, we put up a post on social media. That's where all of you are, Abby. So we went to social media to meet you there. We put up the post. And we said, I put the picture of the Zoom meeting, and then of the webinar, and then under it I wrote, Zoom is full, run to YouTube, his YouTube channel, Kingsley-Okonkwo. I put it there. Zoom is full. I put up another post. Please go to YouTube, Zoom is full. They were still asking, I can't get in. What do? I can't get in. Okay, register here, link in bio. How do I register? I'm not really understanding. Read now. If you can write, you can read. And it is so sad because everybody's claiming that we don't read anymore because we like to watch videos. We're on YouTube, we're on this, we're on that. But reading is foundational. It's a life skill. I think it's a life skill. Reading is a life skill. If you don't read, I was telling my son the other day, he's 4. I was saying to him, you need to learn how to read. He said, oh, reading is not fun. How do I do it? I said, so if somebody writes you a check tomorrow, how would you know how to cash it? He didn't have a clue, but I went there. You can't read. Someone tells you to sign a contract. Okay, you're a social media influencer, and you're looking for one fantastic deal of endorsement, and then somebody wants to give you the job, and then they write a contract, and in the contract, they say when you do all these things, the money will be theirs. They will just give you platform. Do you know you can't read, so you don't know, you will just sign. Then you'll be putting picture. I got the deal. You got the deal. But you don't know that you signed away your destiny. Why? How don't you know? You can't read. I know I'm already hearing some lazy millennials saying that's what we have lawyers for. But if all of you are the same generation, the lawyers who cannot read, you don't learn. And then I see a lot of them arguing blindly on social media. You are arguing. I think this generation, you guys like the sound of your own voice. You love the sound of your voice. You're interested in arguing for arguing's sake, not arguing to learn, not asking questions to learn. So somebody will put a question there and they are telling you the answer. You say no, but the Bible says, see, you are not reading this Bible that you came and met, that we have read how many times. You just came to meet it now. You know more than everybody. Learn. Read books. Not every time social media. Read books. Read books. Read the classics. Read Shakespeare. Okay, no, I'm going too far with Shakespeare. Read, I don't know, Chinua Achebe. No, that's even too far. What am I saying? Read. Who is in this generation that you can read? I don't know. Read, Sha. But read. You look for knowledge somehow. It's so sad. They can't string words together. Everything you can say, you learn from TV. So, and unfortunately, you're watching Black American movies, and so they're speaking bad English, and so you're picking that up. You can't write, you can't read. People can't even write employment letters anymore. Some of the letters I get, I read, learn, and don't learn to be. Knowledge puffs up. When you feel like you know, you can never learn. Be quiet. It's not every time you speak. Bible says that you should be slow to speak, quick to hear, and quick to understand. Not every time talk ta 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 ta. You just talk. Stop sometimes and think. Listen. Just listen. Like when I said quality over quantity. Think. Stop for a minute. Because when the man said it, I stopped for a minute. I didn't say, but I don't, quite. Not every time talk. Sometimes, shh. I say, I don't understand that. And if you even want to learn, sometimes they'll first insult you on social media before they ask you the thing. Why, like, I don't want to go there because girl apologized. But somebody, no, she apologized. Sometimes you just go and just rant on your page. Why would you do this? Blah, 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 blah. Just ask me, please. I don't understand why you do this. Don't tell me I'm stupid. Don't tell me I'm stupid. The other day, my husband put a picture of me and him on a bike, on a power bike. And what happened in that picture was that my husband was going on a ride. So he was going to return. Okay, we had come back from ride and he was going to return the bike. So he was like, oh, when we went on the ride, we didn't take pictures. When I was kitted with him. So we didn't take pictures. And it was outside the country. So usually if you're going to ride a bike outside the country, if you do not have your full helmet and your safety gear, you will be arrested. So my husband said, okay, so let's just take the picture here before he goes. So I just got on the bike with my sunglasses and we took the picture and I got down and he moved on. So my husband put it up, my ride or die chick. Your princess, first of all, I'm not his princess, I'm a queen. I was totally insulted by that. So say your princess, you claim to love and teach on love and that you understand love, but you are not showing love to your princess by wearing a helmet and she's not wearing. Safety first. Please bring down this video immediately. No, she didn't say please. She said bring down this video immediately and stop teaching people the wrong thing. It took all the Jesus in me to just walk away on that page because I've learned that it's not everything you answer. You don't attend every fight you're invited to. I just walked away and told my husband, I don't know how you do these things. May the Lord help you. But I was really ready to go off on that girl. First of all you had to do was ask. This man has been riding bikes for over 20 years. So he knows a thing or two about safety if he's still alive today. All you needed to do was, why is she not wearing a helmet in this picture? Simple. Then he will explain to you, oh, this is... But see, it's really none of your business. Do you understand? It's not. But I'm not even going to go there. Because that's one mistake people make. You don't mind your business, but I'm not going to go there. It's not one of the major sevens. Okay? So learn. Okay? Learn. Read books. Don't just... And then this generation, you hate correction. It's okay for people to correct you. It's okay for people to tell you that this your behavior is bad. You don't have behavior. It's okay. You just say, okay, so please, how can I adjust it? Be humble. Okay? Be humble so that people can teach you. So they don't learn, this generation. Next thing. I think I'm going to throw in a bonus, even though it's a 7 series. I'm going to throw in a bonus. There's one that I have that I think I should throw in as a bonus. But the next thing, the next mistake is not being able to serve. This generation of young people, you need to learn to serve. In fact, it's so sad that most times when I see young people serving anyone, if you finally find some who do, I feel like they're literally not serving you. They're marking time. They're marking time and they're piling their CV on. So they're with you so that they can say, oh, I was with this woman. Especially if somebody is great, they say, oh, I worked with this woman. They can put it on their CV. Not because they want to serve you or because they want to learn anything from you. This generation does not serve. And I was thinking about it the other day. My husband and I had a conversation. I think it's one of the reasons why these days, things like branching out in ministry or having other units, branching out businesses is becoming almost extinct. So people can't have branches because they can't trust people. We have a generation of staff, not sons. And it's so sad. When you can't serve someone, you read the Bible, you see the beauty of serving. When Elijah went up, when Elijah went up, he was taking up. The king of Israel at that time asked that, is there no one who still has the word of the Lord in his mouth? Do you know what people said? They said, oh, there's this guy. He's not a prophet or anything, but he used to pour water in the hands of Elijah. And the king said, bring him to me, for the word of the Lord must certainly be in his mouth. If you've been around people and you serve them genuinely from your heart, the grace that they carry will rub off on you. You will always, always be greater. But most times, people are not willing to serve. They are marking time so that they can take all your trade secrets, so that they can go and open theirs and discredit you. It's so sad. A generation of young people, and you forget that God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man sows, that will he also reap. A time is coming where there will be no staff. There will be nobody who is employable. There will be no armor bearers. I dare say there are no armor bearers in this generation anymore. There was a time when people would lay down their lives for you. I don't see it anymore. Loyalty is becoming extinct. Not this generation. It's how they can serve you, so they learn everything you learn, so they can go and open Mildred Extension Ministries. Or so you say just us girls, so you say just us ladies. So they are with you so they can set up their own. Not because they want to serve you. You must be able to see, whatever you make happen for people, God will make happen for you. If you can help someone's dream come to pass, believe me, God will send you multiple people who will help your own dreams come to pass. Service is of the heart. It is not eye service. It's not doing it. When you're serving someone, I don't want to speak it in pidgin because people will be watching from all over the world, but you will bring yourself down. Do you understand? You will come down. You go come down, come calm down, so that you go serve. Because that's the only way to explain. This English is not really helping the matter, but I'm trying. Do you understand? My father's school fees is working. I'm trying. You need to serve. Be humble. Come down. Don't carry your face. They tell you to do something. Don't be angry. Service is from the heart. I miss the days where people genuinely loved their leaders. They genuinely loved people they were serving, not just because of. I heard a story recently of a great man of God, and he was sharing the story of his vice president of his ministry when they started the ministry. He said along the line, the ministry could afford only one car. They bought the ministry, and the senior minister was using the car. And I know some people fight now. Why was he a leader? Hear what I'm saying first, because before you start arguing. That's why I say you not learn. Sit down and learn what I'm saying first. So he said he would send him out. They started almost at the same time. He was associate. He would send him out in the hot sun, like the sun that is hot. He would say, this man should go. Then he would drive past him in the car and look in the rear view mirror just to see if his countenance would change. Let me ask you a question. How many of you passed that test today? That your boss has a car. He sent you out to somewhere to trek in the hot sun, and he drives past you, and he doesn't stop to pick you. He's going that same way. And then you say your face will not change. If you are not already swearing, as I'm saying, you're already swearing for the man's self. He said the man's countenance never changed once. Not once did his face change. He would just keep praying in tongues or singing and be walking under that hot sun. Do you think God has not blessed him? See, some things there, the reward is not even here. The reward is in heaven. And heaven is real. We are getting there one day, and God will judge all of us. So if you are serving, serve from the depths of your heart. Your boss will tell you something. You go inside the bathroom, useless woman. Don't even know what she thinks. No, because she started before me. If not, why am I even taking all this nonsense? I know. You rant and rave, and God is hearing you. You think your boss is not hearing you, fine, but God is hearing you. And the reward you would have collected from serving that person is removed. And you leave, and you're not doing well, and you're wondering, that woman she don't use my star. She didn't use your star. You didn't have. You don't have star. One single star you don't have. With your bad character, you can't have star. Nobody's using your star. It's you that is using your grumbling to dull your. You can't shine. You can't. With your bad character, you can't. Evil is eating up in your heart, and Satan is sitting on your left shoulder. He's telling you, who do they think they are? Why do they think they know more than you? Why would she be sending you about? You and I no be age mates. No be because she get opportunity. Listen, if he's grumbling, I can help you to grumble. But you must adjust your heart and say, I'm serving this person because I'm serving God. And listen, God will bless you. So that's the 7 mistakes that young people make. But I'm going to add one bonus. And I'm going to add this bonus because I think it's important. Maybe I would have let it slip, but I think it's important. This generation, there's one mistake people make. You don't take anything seriously. You don't take anything seriously. Everything is a joke to you. Part of the Nigerian problem, but I think it's greater in your generation. Nigerians, even if they say, all of us, from today, all of us, when we come out in the morning, they'll be flogging us 12 strokes of king. We will laugh. We'll come on social media and crack joke. We will do TikTok with it. We will use the flogging to do sound. We'll be doing beats. They don't take anything seriously. We don't value anything. because you think everything should be handed to you, you don't understand that people slaved for things. So somebody will work hard and buy a car, then you just carry the key. Your boss says go and buy it for you, just carry the key, just drive it anyhow, you match it anyhow. Something will burn in it, or they say go and put oil in the car. You say make I just cut small corner. Car that your boss bought how many millions? You just say make I just na oil, now might just go logic, but nothing they happen. They will not pour fake oil, the engine will not knock. You will not come and say you don't know what happened. Life is not like that. Your boss will give you something, you will misplace it, and you say I misplaced it, I don't know where I put it, and that's it. Not taking anything seriously. You have to take things seriously, especially your life, and that's why I think that these 7 things that I just said to you are so important. You need to listen to them, not argue about them. But if you argue, that's your business. But don't argue. Listen, take it, internalize it, and say, don't say, hey, it's true. I know somebody who is like that. Funke is like that. Kem is like that. Bolanle is like that. Number 3 is joy. Number 7, blessing. It's you. 1 to 7 is you. Take it, internalize it, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. I'm done.